Good afternoon, Fog Footballites. This morning you had the Thursday Night Delight preview show, of course, Conference League. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. It was a rare laugh. It was like 15 minutes of burying Heart of Midlothian, so yeah, phenomenal. But anyway, let's get into the meat here. Let's get into it. Kris Boyd talking about Rangers, and honestly, I'm trying to put as much distance between myself and that cup match as possible, but when you do YouTube, you kind of have to talk about it, especially when you're doing Scottish football. So here I am. I'll try, guys. I'll try my best to get through this one, you know. Just remember, that's all that matters. And I quote, that's what Kris Boyd said, folks, and I quote, haha, Jake, what are you doing? Honestly, man, what is it with dogs pulling the arm off you? That was not what Kris Boyd said, by the way. That was just me wondering what's going on. Right, I think Rangers have got to take credit for the way they performed against Celtic, but they left with nothing. Growing up a Rangers fan, they were winning all the time. Times have changed in Scotland. I don't think I can change who I am. Rangers, for me, was brought up on winning trophies, and it's not been the case in recent times, and Celtic have been doing that. Whether I have to change and accept that second best is enough, then I would never do that. I think a lot of Rangers fans are the same. All you hear from a lot of fans is we did okay, but I'm sure there's a lot of other fans saying, well, you need to start winning things. Credit to Celtic. You look at the way they find a way. It wasn't their best performance at the weekend. Defensively, I thought they were vulnerable, but going forward, Celtic caused Rangers problems again. Both obviously scored 3 goals, but I think for Rodgers and Celtic, they've managed to get over the line again, and that is a big thing. End of quote. I mean, he talks about like, oh, there'll be a lot of fans that said we did okay, and there'll be a lot of fans saying, well, you need to start winning things. Well, obviously, you know what camp I'm in. You need to start winning. I don't care about playing well. I'll take the worst football on display, man. It means we win football games and therefore trophies at the end of the day of it, but it's like, too much is getting... No, I'm sorry, man. I was going to blow the lid there. Need to reel it in. It was great. Who am I kidding? We tried. Alright, guys, we tried. I can't accept just trying, though. I can't sit here and be disingenuous and pretend that everything's alright, because it's not alright. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it wasn't 3 fantastic goals for Celtic we gifted them. First goal, shite clearance. And to be honest, it probably would have flicked off proper and went in anyway, so I'm not going to pin too much on Raskin. Second goal, Raskin and Balogun, 2 fuds. And it's so frustrating because Nico Raskin 3 days before put in the best performance of his Rangers career, but let's be honest, guys, I think he was pretty good against Celtic. But when you have 2 mistakes like that, and yeah, the first one's harsh, but it's a big game, you know what I mean? I'm not going to... I mean, you know, Raskin ran his heart out. I'm not having a go at his effort. I thought his performance was good, but at the end of the day, guys, when you have a hand to play and 2 goals conceded in a game you drew 3 each and lost on penalties, you can't. I mean, I can't pretend he's the greatest midfielder of all time. You know, I can't turn around and say that. In the third goal, oh, Yilmaz's fault. Yeah, decisions here and there, blah blah blah. But you know, at the end of the day, as Boyd said, Celtic were pretty pish, but they still scored 3 goals and they were nowhere near their flamboyant best. And it's like, I've seen it in the comments, whatever. Oh, Rangers get a better opportunity than that. Who knows? I mean, I'm doing on my knees here to suggest that hope that they will, but the reality is, it's just, I mean, if you look at when Brendan Rodgers has come back to Celtic, every game apart from the Parkhead one at the start of this season is, you know, every game's either been by 1 goal or a draw, and that's not good enough, guys, right? I'm not gonna morals and, you know, draws and, oh, we won that, we beat Ross County last week, pish, but not, you know, how many games? That's 7 games, right? Now, albeit we've lost 6 and drew 1, which is honestly disgusting. I've got nothing really to say about it, but it's not like in yesteryear, you know, you think of like 16, 17, part 18 before Gerrard came in. Celtic were coming to us at Ibrox and we were going to them, and we're talking about 4-0s, 5-1s, you know, absolute scuddings of the highest degree. The scorelines aren't that big, you know what I mean? So this whole thing will Celtic turn up. If you actually look at the last bunch of old firms, like from the start of last season, they're not massive scorelines. In fact, they're quite close games. But then, I'll admit it, there is games that were close, but here Celtic could have scored more. But the fact is, the score was close. And what I think it boils down to is just the mental block. Rangers just can't get over the line, can't get it done. So you may as well lose 5-0. You know what I mean? But I think the way people are getting on, it's almost like every game has been a pumping. It's really not, but pumping, close. All that matters is the team that gets over the line, and we can't seem to do it. So it's frustrating. Boyd went on to say, there seems to be that winning mentality there. It doesn't matter how well Rangers play, Celtic seem to come out on top. Rangers will be hoping for a different outcome with a full house on January 2nd, but I still think they're going to have performed better. They aren't winning games against Celtic, and that has to change. End of quote. I mean, it does have to change, Boyd. I absolutely, wholeheartedly agree with you. Will it change? I'm not too sure. He then was asked about the league title. He said Celtic will be league champions, there's no getting away from it. At the start of the season it was going to be very difficult for the rest because of the way Celtic have been operating for a number of years now in terms of the money they've banked, the players they've signed, and they've sold them at the right time. They've been in total control of their destiny as such. Maybe in the past they would have taken a deal and undersold a player. They don't need to do that now. It's a club that's been run properly from top to bottom for a number of years, and I felt as if Celtic would win the league. Didn't expect Rangers to be third in the middle of December, but that's where it's at right now. Yeah, Rangers have a game in hand, Aberdeen haven't won in 5 either. So that shows you how disappointing a start it's been for Rangers. It has to improve. End of quote. Right, totally agree with Boyd again. I mean, see, as good as Celtic have been this season, right? There's no excuses for Rangers to be 11 points behind. You know what I mean, folks? Like, realistically, you know, football's football and you drop points in games, and I get that. But let's be honest, man. See every other game that we've dropped points in, i.e. drew or get beat, we've been bogging. Even games we've won, we've been bogging, we know that. It's like, we should be going into the 2nd of January Old Firm 3 points behind. There's nothing wrong with having a mentality like that, I get it. Going to Tynecastle's tough, they're shite though. Aberdeen, we lost to Pittodrie. Should never accept losing to Aberdeen, but, you know, decent Aberdeen team at that time. But at the same time, like, I mean, let's be honest, I'll let the Aberdeen one slide. We should not be that many points behind. It's a joke. You know, Celtic and Aberdeen drew with each other, and I think we had the chance to close the gap. Was it close the gap to 2? What was the ability we had? Was it close the gap to 2? And we ended up closing it to 6. What gap one? No, I think it was the 3 actually. And it's just a bottle job, and I mean, he goes on to speak about Raskin and Hadji, but I'm not that interested talking about Raskin and Hadji. I've already spoken about Raskin. Rate Hadji, I think he's part of the club for the future, but I mean, what is the end game, man? You know what I mean? But hopefully there's light at the end of the tunnel. But I hope you enjoyed, guys. I tried.